Greetings, respected teachers and viewers. My name is Arjun Sadashiv, and today I'm going to speak on the topic of the automatic computing engine, or the ACE. Now, what is the ACE? The ACE is actually one of Alan Turing's many inventions and one of his more overlooked accomplishments. It is completely overshadowed by the Turing machine that he conceptualized, or uh, the Enigma machine that he worked on, the Colossus machine that he worked on. But the ACE was actually built to be a general purpose computer. It was the first automatic computing engine that could do more than one thing. It is one of the only machines that actually incorporates Turing's designs for computing. Uh, its basic inspiration its basic inspiration stems from the age-old idea of building a computer that has the ability to think like a human being. Now, the ACE was actually properly conceptualized at the end of the Second World War, when the UK had enough expertise and insight into the field of computing and code breaking through the work of many genius people like Alan Turing. A machine that was built there called the Colossus, which was not a general purpose computer, uh, contained the elements of a general purpose computer. It was basically a digital computer custom built to solve a particular problem. Uh, Although this didn't stop the people who invented the Colossus from thinking that a uh, general purpose machine could stem from the Colossus, using it as a stepping stone. In Alan Turing, who at the time worked at Bletchley Park, left it and joined another organization called the National Physics Laboratory. And in 1946, he essentially drew up the designs for the ACE, which was only implemented later on in the 1950s with the Pilot ACE. Now, the Pilot Ace was a very complex machine. It consisted of approximately 800 vacuum tubes working at 1 megahertz. Its memory was 128 32-bit words, which was later expanded to 352 words through the use of mercury delay lines. Notably, the Pilot Ace can be considered as the inception of software and programming as we know it, because it didn't use the typical cranks and hardware that would be used in the computers at that age. Instead, relied on a programmable language, etc., uh, to be utilized for the working of the Pilot Ace. Uh, the memory storage of the Pilot Ace would only be possible due to a device called the magnetic drum, which is what made the development of a control program for running programs dealing with different types of matrices. Uh, Now, the ACE was actually used in a myriad of different real world applications. It was more. It was used in the field of aeronautics to work out the stresses on the wings of a aircraft. It was used to simulate the ballistic trajectory of missiles, and more notably, it was also used in the field of X-ray crystallography, and also used to study the structures of different crystals and molecules. Now, the Pilot Ace was actually just the first iteration of the ACE. Uh, Multiple different iterations have existed, and the Pilot Ace has served as a stepping stone for a bunch of different devices that came after it. Uh, as I have previously stated, Pilot Ace was the first iteration, and the Mosaic was the second, more publicized iteration of the Ace. Uh, Two other notable successors of the Ace are the Bendix G15 developed by Harry Husky, and the Packard Bell Corporation's PB250. and many other devices which came after these two. Basically, the ACE was the foundational work for many of the modern computing devices we know today. Now, the ACE, as I have stated previously, is the precursor to modern computing devices as we know it. Uh, its design was the basis for many computing devices, you know, in our time, and that came later on into the future after 1950. It basically pioneered both hardware and software, and also contributed into the STEM field by being used for different experimental and research purposes. Uh, it truly was a very important stepping stone that led to the invention of the modern computer as we know it. And that is all. Thank you.